right,
Yo,
sweet. What up? Welcome
a
back.
little behind, a little behind schedule today. I had some errands I had to run that took longer than planned.
That's all right. That's all right.
So we are going to do some cart colorations, but there's some file prep we got to do. And I went into those AI services, man, and I was like, do my file prep, and it wouldn't do it. It doesn't. It can't do that yet. No, it can't do it yet. I'm waiting for that day. I gotta tell you. Yeah. You know, then I can use it. I can be like, could you just layer all this stuff out and
Dang, not yet.
No, you know what? It's like, here's the craziest part about all these artists running. And if you're an artist out there that's like, I won't create an AI generator, what's your problem, old man? I'm like, no, I don't have a problem with it. What's crazy to me is you want to take away, how do I say this? It generates, at this point, all AI services generate flattened art, correct?
Right.
So you're typing things in to get all this creative stuff. And then what you are going to do is the artist is cut it all up, organize it, and rearrange it. Like, that is the part I don't want to do as an artist. As an artist, you want to create
make the
thing.
Right.
So you're taking away, you're throwing away the creative part to become a person who cuts things up and moves things around and organizes. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, for my life, I'm like, do people just, I get if you just don't want to go to a regular job. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, like, become a producer, don't become an artist. You know, become a sound designer or mixer, color timer, even an editor.
So you don't want to be a cleanup artist then?
And all they're doing is making themselves cleanup artists willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is so weird to me, you know, to like watch a generation of cats like pay for it too. We're gonna give them money, Rob. It's cheap.
So we'll see what happens in the near future. Well, maybe near future, maybe not.
I suspect a lot of unfulfilled people who then could be said, well, you don't really do anything, you just move things around. I mean, they already find ways in art departments to like justify why they don't pay you. It's like, in the t-shirt industry, if you're the guy designing the shirts, right? You concept it, get the assets, put the stuff together, you're essentially making all the money for them, right? Right? You're like the software engineer. Like, you're doing the thing that sells it. The image on the shirt, they're not buying the blank, they're buying the image on the shirt. In that industry, they already go, well, all you do is draw. It's like, yeah, without us, you don't make no money, man. It's not a fucking blank t-shirt company. It's a license. Oh, man, it's the strangest thing. Watching how they already don't want to pay people. And so, like, if you're not actually even doing art, if you're just moving stuff around, believe me, they're going to pay you even less what they're paying now. They're like, well, the computer does it. You don't do anything.
That really gets into your skin, it seems.
I used to hear it. I'd go, no, you take my art, you walk into a room with it already completed, hand it to Walmart, and you sales rep, you get the money. You don't do anything. You literally don't do anything and get paid the most for it, other than the CEO. Yeah, I do. I'm like, I've been there. Like, I've seen how this goes. It's just strange to me, Dan. It's strange to see how, like, taking away the creative part because they can't do it is really what it is. A lot of people can't make things. They just can't.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's taking too long to learn how. So I want to find a way to not have to, like, make things. I just want to be able to tell a computer my ideas and it will create stuff. And then I will move it around. And it's like, it will not create what's in your head. It will create what's in its head. And you will then look into that picture and see, you know, something that resonates with you. That is not the same thing as what's in your head. You know, like, that's staring into a white wall and seeing shapes, which is the first part of learning how to actually illustrate.
Yeah, I do feel like It is a big gift to be able to kind of create what you think or create what you dream even. Like, you have this idea in your head and being able to actually put it down or, like, craft it. It does seem like either a rarity or just, like, I don't know. It's an interesting gift. It's definitely...
Or a talent. Hey, you know what we should be replacing in this world, I believe? We should be replacing, instead of the artists, can we replace athletes? They don't really do nothing either, right? They just train their whole life, but all they do is run around in circles and throw stuff. Computers could do that right now. Computers can run around in circles pretty fast and throw things. Like, let's just replace all of the football games with robots. You know? Let's replace MMA with robots, and let's replace... I would prefer that. Like, yeah. Well, it's ridiculous because that's what it sounds like to me when they want to replace artists with.
I would actually watch football if they had robot football. I'm just saying. That sounds pretty dope to me.
It's because we're nerds.
Yeah, that's true. We are nerds.
Alright, I just gotta figure out the proportions on this. Let me go cut all these up and paste them together really quick before I scale them down. You know what? I'm gonna open up a file and just save myself a lot of work here. 1 second. I know how to do this faster. Which one is it, Rob? Which one is it, Rob? Talk 2A, right? Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I could just wand this, but it'll be easier to turn off all the backgrounds and then do it.
So far the bombs, the mine, the kind of EMP one, and then like the like Tesla ball thing. Those are the 3 tops currently. I just have to, yeah. Just need to choose. Option.
So this one, that one, and this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Yep. Those are the top 5 from the.
It was way faster.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's like the rapidness of concept art design did not make for more distinguishable films. It just made the ability to create more films with special effects. But you have to go back to when there was less people with a higher degree of artistic talent to get films that may have not had realistic visual effects, but had iconic visual effects and designs, like the X-Wing fighter. Now you don't get that. You get this people making a zillion fucking shapes and kit bash and everything, and so you get this hodgepodge of stuff that all sort of, after several hundred fucking films, blends in and all becomes the same thing. And you're like, well, why doesn't it look iconic anymore? Because there's too many people making too many of them at too rapid a pace, using the same best use practices. It's the same thing that's going to happen. All they got to do is go back to ground one and just actually draw some stuff, build it. You ever see the Star Trek movie from 2008, the reboot, the J.J. Abrams reboot?
I've seen a lot of Star Trek.
Right. So in that film, in the opening, you can see this play out on screen, the clash between how things were designed in the 60s and 70s and how things are designed today.
Mm-hmm.
So in that opening sequence, there's this one shot when the Romulans attack Kirkstad's ship, right?
Okay.
Right?
Oh
And
yeah.
you see that ship design, which is an iconic, 60s / early 80s style Star Trek ship where someone drew, a Ron Cobb type person drew the ship, someone had to build it, sculpt it, get it to all work. You can see what that looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this new Romulan ship, and it's nothing but a giant silhouette. It's literally a Photoshop stamp brush with cables hanging down and all this detail, but it's all silhouette.
Okay. Yeah.
And so and you can't remember their ship. If I said remember that, you can't, but you can remember the other one. You know why? Even though the other one's the Romulan has a strong silhouette, it's intangible. It's intangible. It's not designed to be remembered or played around with. It's just a lot of rando shit crammed together to create something that someone in charge found visually interesting. I'm assuming the director.
Mm-hmm.
This sort of thing happens around Attack of the Clones, when they started using just random dragonfly and bug shapes to create starships. Versus even on the Phantom Menace, when Doug Chain physically drew the initial designs and did keep high-level rendering paintings based on those initial designs. It's why I believe the pod racers. I know the movie is not. It is what it is. But the design of the pods, the design of the Naboo starfighter,
I love pod
the
racers.
design. They're brilliant. They're brilliant,
them.
and there's nothing in that series that gets close to it except the Jedi starfighter, which was based on who's the artist that recently passed. There was an artist, I forget his name, starts with a C. He did the initial designs on Star Wars for all this stuff, and then they handed it over to Joe Johnston. He took it off Macquarie to build it, and then Johnston did the second pass to make it more iconic. But he had these triangle ship, these little mini starfighter ships coming out of these Star Destroyers. And that Star Destroyer, the initial version of it, is now in Andor. There's a giant satellite-looking thing in the new trailer that Skarsgård's going toward. That was the original Star Destroyer. But that guy recently passed. He started following me too, like last winter. I was like super. I forget his name, man. I'm horrible with names.
Dang, me too. Yeah.
Anyway, but that's it. Everything else they designed, I can't remember. I can't remember any of that shit. It's just bugs. Who cares? Who cares?
I love.
I get it.
Racers,
yeah.
They're so cool. Yeah.
But they had to create a lot of stuff. Dan, you see what I'm saying? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, it's like in the way they used to do. It's like animatronics, and then they had I don't know. Even though like Jar Jar Binks was like annoying, he was still like a fun. He had a fun like I don't know. I guess like his anatomy and everything, just like the alien anatomy, was really cool.
So some mistakes, I believe, if I could be Captain Hindsight on the Jar Jar Binks thing.
Sure.
The mistake with the Phantom Menace was George basically, I've had this theory for the longest time, and the recent ILM documentary kind of like helped solidify my theory. And the theory was after Jurassic Park, a million little effects houses popped up out of nowhere, and ILM was under serious like financial threat. And so he needed to get ahead of the curve on digital doubles, humanoid digital doubles, and digital pipeline production to get ahead of that curve, to be more of, for a lot of reasons. I don't want to get into that. Here's the thing, though. If you're trying to show off your new digital actors, and you want people to fall in love with them and go, wow, we want you to do that for us, then why make a character that not only annoys the majority of the viewing audience, but annoys most of the characters in the movie? Why make that character a big dork? Like, should have been Yoda. Yoda should have been the digital actor, because then you could compare it against the puppet. And then only do the digital actors as the villains or robots in that first film. But the organic moving character should have just been Yoda. Because to create a character that everyone goes, look, he's dumb, and everyone in the movie is like, he's kind of dumb, it doesn't help sell a product. You're on an uphill battle. You can go, well, look at the textures and lighting. Yeah, but he's a fucking idiot. I hate this. I don't want this. You know, like you learn that quickly as an artist. If you wanna get paid to make more of something, don't make something stupid. Doesn't matter how good it looks. If it's stupid, people don't want any of it. They can't see that you could do something else with it.
I see that.
So,
I can see that.
That is the mistake that was made colossally. Like bad idea, George. So, you know, like from the ground up, like it was just the bad guys. There's this concept for the Nemodians in the first film, Doug changed it, where they look like gray aliens covered in gold. And so the battle droids were designed after the look of them, like thin and ant-like. And they just look like gray, like Anunnaki style, like gray aliens, if you know what that is. So that would have been where to do all the CGI stuff. So if it's a little off, they're monstery, you know? And then just have like literal like fucking humans fighting them and shit. Have the Jedi fighting those dudes in the first movie. Like, that's all he had to do. But no.
By the way, which one is your favorite color one? Did you have a favorite?
I like this one.
You like cotton candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my Breath of Fire 4. I love Breath of Fire 4. I really do. I think it's the pinnacle of pixel. The PS1, man, I got such a tremendous love for the 32-bit era. Like, in my world with 3D would always be the 32-bit era just scaled up, but it would still be pixelated textures, and the characters would be largely 2D or low poly like generated. And when I say low poly now, they don't have to be super blocky hands. It can just be a little bit, how do I say this? Like, little as origami. Like, it could be like kind of what we're doing now, but just maybe more, you know, like when we take concept art and people kind of like make fingers a little bit more squarish.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yep.
Like, I don't know, man, like, kind of like Coraline and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
You know, yeah. So simple, but also with like stronger shapes, you know.
I feel like
I
Disney
just
Infinity
love
did that well. Go ahead.
Yeah, Disney. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Disney Infinity, I think, did that well. Like the Infinity.
Oh,
game
Disney Infinity. Yeah. Like, imagine that, but with, like, hand painted pixel textures. The reason why I say pixel textures is because the noise to me, man. Like, I was looking at that again, Speed Freaks. Like, looking at Speed Freaks. Like, when you get into when you go into the underground part, like the first underground little area, and like the lights, it's pre-baked, but that noise in the pixel, it just makes it feel like there's something way more there than that's there.
Right.
You know, like there's something about that look, man, that I love it. I love it. So, and Breath of Fire 4 had like just a perfect amount of like pixel characters with custom animations, painted pixely textures, and just, you know, and when the geometry is limited, I feel like you're going for a shape design with your tracks, and that shape design like they came up with or really kind of worked on or honed in on Crash and Spyro, like it's based off more limited geometry, you know, like it's sculpted, you know, it's got more detail, but that limited geometry means you can memorize the maps, you know, like I just can't memorize maps on a lot of modern games when they're super detailed. I don't know, man, I can't memorize one Halo map or Overwatch map, can't do it. So, but you get me on like a GoldenEye map and I could memorize it, you know, and it's because the architecture itself is limited.
Totally.
So I just think if you could scale that limited up with detail, you know, like ambient detail, world detail, that actually looks pretty cool. See, once they're sticking out of the carts, whole different vibe, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Whole different vibe. Let's take this.
Very true.
Come on, AI, do this for me, so I don't have to do it. Right. don't want to do this. This sucks. I know it's not quite the same as actually having a pose back there, but it doesn't really matter.
I imagine probably just having it in the. Well, I guess yeah. Unless it helps you, you shouldn't have to do it on the back ones.
Yeah, it's gonna help.
Okay.
It's gonna help everybody.
All right.
Trust me on this. So just if I just do this faster.
Just gotta press the button.
Well, I worked at Kinko's in the early 2000s, right? And people used to come in and go, "Oh, it's super easy." You know, when I would say, "Hey, man, it'll be ready tomorrow." Well, you can get it done now. It's super easy. I'm like, "There's not." I was like, "We should." And I remember telling my boss, the manager, I'm like, "You know what we should do?" And they're like, "Oh no, Rob's got ideas again." I'm like, we should sell big red buttons called done. It's just a done button. So you could just sell them. You just hit the done button, it's done. And then like a year later or 2 years later, Staples sold those easy buttons. And when those hit, I was still working. I'm like, I told you, big red buttons. Like, I'm like, all right, idiot.
Yeah, I've seen those like Amazon refill buttons. Kind of funny. It's like you like put it on your wall next to wherever that is. Like, oh, I'm out of toilet paper. Press the button, and it like automatically buys with your card or whatever the button that one specific product. I just think that's so corny. It's like I could definitely just go on my phone and just buy it.
You could. I remember when I was in high school, I had some stepbrothers, and they were kind of little shits. And I couldn't really. I'm not like a disciplinarian. They were like, their mother was like, "You can beat them." I'm like, I'm not hitting your kids, you know. But I hit the wrong one. But what I would do is I would just do stuff like I'd be watching TV and I'd want to change the channel, and I'd be holding the remote, but I'd have them walk up and change the channel. Just go up there and change the channel. Hold the remote, just to be, just to show who's boss. That's how I feel Amazon is. Like they're doing that to us all the time. They're just like, yeah, we could do stuff. We can make it, but instead of making things really, making it better for our driver. I could just do no. All right. He's like, that's right, I hit you. Almost there. I was hoping to get this done before we started. Not happening.
Oh, just the setup?
Yeah, I was just trying, but when I realized, I was like, I gotta get this done now before they ship this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had to go and make sure that I was reading there's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it. It's not even interesting, but but yeah, so I was watching again like that Speed Freaks, and I'm like,
yeah.
Or like the way Metal Gear Solid looked. Like, look, take away what I don't like about the PS1 aesthetic, because I don't care for the jitter. I know everyone loves the jitter, but the jitter was a Z buffer issue, and Crash Team Racing did away with that. They solved it in software. They were like, we got rid of the jitter. Like I remember when Gamer Republic first covered that magazine, Dave Halverson. Remember when they were like, they did a whole interview with him about how they solved the Z buffer issue, and believe me, had they just waited one more year, they would have had a Z buffer worked into the PlayStation. You never would have seen that. Like I get people like it because they remember it. It's not good. That being said, the pixelated textures look way better than the Nintendo 64's smooth ass textures. I used to like think differently, because I was like a Nintendo 64. I mean, I pre-ordered that. I was watching the clips on Shoshankai online at the Shoshankai Space World in 1995 November, or whatever, May of 95. Yeah, 95, 96, somewhere around there. But when they first showed off all the videos and stuff, and I was like, I got movie clips, QuickTime clips. I'm watching this. There's a 3D Mario coming. No one knew what the hell I was talking about. And but I believed in the aliasing and all that stuff. But I just don't think it looks as good as if you go to like the Star Fox DS and you compare the Star Fox DS 64 DS to Star Fox 64. It looks better. Even the texture work on Mario 64 DS looks better than Mario 64. So those hand-painted textures at a certain pixel resolution, I just think it's pretty dope. All right, we got this. Let's take these guys, group them. I would hate to see Breath of Fire Forward smooth. Oh man, like they're doing the new Tactics Ogre Reborn, and all the characters, everyone's like, it looks amazing. I'm like, no man, all the sprites look like melted ice cream. What did they do? Like they do. It looks like you know when you leave a Sonic icicle pop out and it just sort of starts to smear. I'm like, I don't know how you people are giving us a pass. The first Grandia game had brilliant pixel art, and when they smoothed that up, people are like, this is horrible. Like, yeah, it is. Don't do that. All right, we only got to do the shape fill once. So is this the shit? This is the car. Yes. Okay. Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is the one.
I was afraid. I was like, for a second, I'm like, did I seem too easy?
That is the proper car.
Yeah, we're making good time. Pick. Come on. Load. Thank you.
Hey, Tofu. What you doing?
One straggler. You watch HighQ?
HighQ.
The anime?
I do not. Should I?
You ever watch any sports anime?
Sports anime? I've watched like
Sports.
a basketball one, and I've watched a baseball one.
Which basketball one did you watch? Was it Kuroko's?
It's been a minute. It was. I think I watched it like a decade ago.
Or Slam Dunk? It's probably Slam Dunk is what you watch.
Maybe so.
Yeah, Kuroko's, that one's dope. It's like, it's a 3-season and it ends really well. It's like, imagine the basketball players are like X-Men. like they're mutants and they each got like a special power. Like,
That sounds cool.
I'm not a sports guy. I love sports anime. Like sports, if sports could look like sports anime, I'd watch a whole lot more of it. You know, like so. But HighQ is really good. The music is done by Hiroyuki Sawano, who did, you know, Kill La Kill, the Attack on Titan. Yeah, and it's the best soundtrack I think of any anime outside of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's brilliant. I mean, a whole season can be a volleyball match, by the way, when you get to like season 3 and 4. Like, it goes. But it's great. Like, every character gets their turn. The animation's brilliant.
That's cool.
Super fun. I always just feel positive after watching sports anime. You know, like, you watch Attack on Titan, you could be like, life horrible. Like, we're all gonna die. You know, like, that's why. Did you see Ranking of Kings?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, finally, it's like, it's brutal, but you feel good. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It was
I love that.
Different style, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it reminded me of there's an artist. There's this Japanese artist. He did all the concept art for Coraline, the movie, and he did like his style was he worked at Disney for a while now, Big Hero 6 and stuff like that. And it had like a bit of his look to there too. But yeah, it was super good. I mean, I was like, it's storybook Game of Thrones is what I tell my, you know, just take Dragon Quest and shove Game of Thrones in there, and there you go. Like, it looks simple and happy, and then the most horrific shit you can imagine occurs.
Right.
I don't know what that is. Like, that's some noise. I gotta clean. Whatever. I don't know what that is. So. So I don't know what I did there. That's the AI. If the AI gets a pass, I should too. Yeah, I did it. My friend's like, "You picking a fight with AI?" I'm like, "Does it want to meet me after school, behind the fucking quad, like under the bleachers? Does the AI want to like? Did I hurt his feelings? Like, yeah, I'll take the fight." Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, HighQ is great, man. I highly recommend it. Production IG, they do a lot of the sports anime. They did Kuroko's, which I like because it's 3 seasons. You can get through it, you know, and it has a good ending. There's a similar setup with HighQ where it's got like this little guy and a big guy, and like they're have to team up, but they're totally different. They just started a new soccer one called Aowashi, something like that. I thought it was gonna be like HighQ again. I'm like, I don't know. It seems like they're doing this, and it's totally different. Like, it's all about junior high or like youth soccer, and like going into soccer clubs, and like, you know, parents having to pay for that stuff, and them playing soccer, and like this kid just like he's like a prodigy, but he doesn't actually know how to play. He's just been using intuition kind of shit, and this guy who gets him on the team, the basic premises, gets him on the team, but then doesn't tell him till like maybe several episodes in that he didn't get him to play the position he wants. He gets to play the total opposite position, and it's like a kid dealing with life kind of thing. But
That's kind of cool.
It's AOAOHI, something like that. It's on Crunchyroll, like in the top, whatever. Cool. Yeah. So it's slower and it's way character based. HighQ, man, HighQ will leave you feeling great. I'm just telling you, HighQ. I just put on that motivational music. Put on the music. Just type in HighQ motivational music in YouTube, and put that on when you got shit to get done. So when I ink, I put that on and just leave it on the loop, like all 4 seasons of anime music.
HighQ. Okay.
HighQ, like HAIKYUU.
Yeah, I was spelling it all English, like HIGHQ.
Yeah, you're spelling it like AI systems would try to figure it out. Like,
yep, that's how I spell it.
Yeah. You're being mean to AI, man. I've had people. I went to the Art Institute. Fuck them. Like, oh, you mean the artificial?
Okay, so HighQ. I would recommend an anime called Now and Then Here and There, and it sounds super random. It's an older one that's like really, really well animated, and has a pretty good story to it.
I have some.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, Now and Then Here and There, and yeah, I suggest it. I'm not sure if it's on Crunchyroll or not though, but yeah. Yeah, it has a really fun style, and like, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's from like the late '90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's harder with that because I've been watching anime since the '80s. It's harder with those for me because at the time, dude, like it was like $40 or $60 for like 2 episodes on VHS. You know what I mean? When it came to anime, it was like these sons of it is super expensive.
Yeah.
But that one holds up, right?
It's well animated, yeah. I mean, there's definitely some hard points and everything on it, but like it's well done.
Kid in his mech. Yeah, I know the cover. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll check it out. What I love about the older anime is since it was done by hand, you can really appreciate. You know what I mean? When they animate some shit, you're like, mother, how did they?
That's the big reason why I like it. Just how like well it's animated and like just how well it holds up.
Plus a lot of the colors, because they were hand painted, I'll have more of a pastel look. They're not as super saturated anymore, Like yeah, they are now. So yeah, super good.
Yeah, big recommend for that one.
On the list. Look at this. It's starting to look real.
Hey, we got a school bus. I want an industrial cart with red.
Yeah.
Press the button.
You're pressing buttons, trust me. The buttons you're thinking. You're getting there. You're getting there. All right. So. There, and then. What? I don't know what the hell that's all about. What is... I turned something off. Oh, I know why I did that. Because when I turned it off, that was blocking all that stuff. Gotcha. Alright, I see what I did there. Alright, we'll just... We don't need the border. I can redo it. Who cares? Alright. So let's just... By attrition... Yeah. Let's go warm cool. So... Chromatic warm. Where are we? There, here. Alright. Chromatic cool. Chromatic cool. And then we'll come back to put that more in the warm spectrum. Actually, I think I'm going to switch this one with that one. So we need to create some basic flats really quick. So we can just copy over. A lot of people like clippy masks, but I hate them. So I just use manual masks. Sometimes you have to save masks, and when things are clip masks, you can't actually save them. So like, it's like if you rely on them, and you end up in a it's kind of a t-shirt thing, but like in t-shirts, sometimes people who are sepping files need those masks for sepping, and when they're clipping, they can't actually select anything. It's a whole lot more work, so having the masks helps. I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to separate all. So let's just not worry about coloring. And let's just separate shit. Make this as fast as humanly possible. So we'll get the frame in. See, this is like the flats. I'm like, I wish AI could do this for Rob. I mean, how's it supposed to know what's what?
Yeah, there's so many different pieces and depth going on that it wouldn't be able to tell.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like we just gotta draw simpler. I'm like, oh, so now we're all designing based on the limitations of. That's not gonna work, folks. That's not gonna. Because after like you and several other studios, everyone has the same looking thing. No. Nope. That's not how it gets done. Let's separate that.
Cotton candy time.
Yeah, I know. I just prefer loud, annoying colors so they're easier to select.
Yeah, for masking purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyone that sits here and tries to like get all coordinated, pointless. And it's like, well, if you do all this and then hand it to the computer, it'll give you color comp. I'm like, this is not the fun part. I want the computer to do this. You're giving the computer the fun part. No. And then you're gonna be like, who came up with the colors? The computer. Oh, so you didn't do nothing. No, man, all this sounds like a bad idea. I just don't think people thought this one through. Like, how bad an idea this actually is. I see what I did there. This should be cut out. Oh no, but I left the window open. That's what, so this should be cut out here and left open there. Gotcha. Wow, to leave this open so we can tint it appropriately. Almost.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to model.
Glad you're doing it.
Yeah, they're gonna do the pirate character next, like whenever you have time again.
What's his deal?
Like an ethereal, basically an ethereal wave cart. So like he'll be like kind of like a floating cart, similar to our Elvish character. So he'll be like a tanky version of a flying, like car. So he's, yeah, basically this like pirate character with like an anchor hook. So he like chucks an anchor at someone. I wanted him to be able to actually be able to turn better with like a drop down. It's assuming it'll work for the camera. I thought about him having a drop down sail for a short time, like to get wind or whatever, like as one of his abilities for like his boost or something. But yeah, it should be a fun one. Yeah, I'm still trying to iron him out. But I have his, like, most of his design document done. But yeah, we were like before I had the idea, or we had the idea of having like whiskey barrel wheels, but I don't know. I like the idea of him like just kind of hovering or like floating, kind of like the similar to like a ghost ship or something.
Yeah, I like Ghost Pirate.
Yeah, it should be fun.
All that stuff. Right? Annoying, man. For some reason, it's not recognizing the right click button on Wacom. Like, it does when I'm like use it for bring up the brush. When I try to use right click functions, it doesn't work. I don't know why. Ever since I switched over to using the Windows ink setting, and I normally use the little. I don't do that. I normally use like the little grip thing that brings it back to Windows tab or some shit fucking thing. I don't know what it's called. But I get this weird glitch with lazy Nozumi Pro where if I hold down the, if I'm filling something in long enough, it will just, when I let go, it will draw a line across the screen. And apparently because it needs Windows ink. And so ever since I did that, now I can't get the right click to work. And I'm like, well, I got stuff to do, so I'll get back to that one. Like, seriously, this doesn't. All right, we're gonna have to clean some of this up because the characters sit a little different when I warp them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. AI will solve that, right? They'll just fill it all in, figure it all out. It won't. Yeah. No, see, that's what you do. You just figure it out and clean it up. Can't stress how much I would hate that job. Imagine Bill Watterson not drawing Calvin and Hobbes. Bill Watterson just cleaned up whatever the AI drew. Yeah.
I think I have the entire Calvin and Hobbes series. If I don't, then I have dang near close to it.
Did you get that box set, or you have the individuals?
Individuals over time.
'Cause he did this box set that I know he's proud of, but like I own all the individuals as well, and I actually have a lot of the original cartoon strips.
Awesome.
And the problem with that box set is the printing is too warm. All the watercolor stuff is almost orange.
Oh no.
It's not accurate.
Well, that sucks. I feel like it'd be nice to get a set just because of I assume they'll probably all be like a similar. Well, maybe not, because right now all the Calvin Hobbes books for the most part are like different shapes and stuff like that, or different sizes. Some of them are.
Yeah, I have them all.
Yeah.
They're all right here. Yeah, I just think color reproduction wise, the individual ones are better.
Okay.
Even if they're different shapes and sizes. I mean, if it matters to you. For me, it matters. Like, I don't want to see bugs that were green and blue all look orange for some fucking reason. It's a colossal. It's a real fucking problem, bro. Like, I'm the only one who's like complained about it, but I'm like,
it's not the same.
It's not good. It's not good. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Bill agreed to it. It should be fixed. Cause I went to the cartooning at the Ohio college, whatever, no, Columbus, Ohio. You can go see his stuff at that cartooning college exhibit, whatever, at that college.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I went there, yeah, and it don't look all warm. It is legitimately like a SAP error. So, I don't know why it hasn't been fixed. Those are all selectable. And then we gotta do one more. You always get these kids every now and then who are like, Clip Studio Paint will do it all for you, or this, you get this program and it'll auto flat trap. And I'm like, I've used it, it don't work. It works for me. And I look at their art, I'm like, not my art. Well, you draw too much. Oh, see, it always goes back to that. Just draw less, you know? So be you. No, be me. Nice try, trying to get me to not be me.
I'll just be me for a while.
Yeah, hey, Henson, it's too hard to make a labyrinth puppet. Just make everything lamb chops. You know? Make everything sock puppets. It's easier. Why are you putting all that effort in?
What's up, Stank Ma? Welcome. We're doing coloration on the vehicles this time. So yeah, we did like the talk variations, and we got a lot of votes in, and so we're doing the top 5 colorations. And now we're making like the vehicle versions of those. So kind of like
yeah, they're all gonna be neons. We've changed the game to look like it's gonna play great in a black light. It's called blacklight razors now. We're all using blacklight paints, and so this game's really gonna pop, you know. I did get the space carpeting for my little game room like a couple years ago. I took like about a nice little strip of it, so I got the blacklight in there when I play my PS5. Little space arcade carpeting.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds really cool. Arcade carpeting.
I can go till 7 if you can, so we can get
Sure, what would you like to do?
get some actual coloring in. This took a little longer than I thought.
That'll be fine. How you doing, Stank Mom? What are you up to today? Yeah, we're trying to get these colors finished so I can get them modeled up and stuff. So I'll probably be modeling the, starting to model the vehicle. He's got kind of like the lightning pistol. He has the bomb that we saw yesterday, so I'll have to choose what bomb like ASAP. And then he has his wrench. So we have a couple of more things to get through. But yeah, I'll be modeling those probably starting up next week. Some God of War? Yeah. Boy.
See, I'm the guy who would like a God of War that uses maybe the PSP level of geometry, but looks 32-bit with the textures.
God of polygons.
You know what? It'll look timeless.
We're like West Coast area. I'm very northwest up in Washington. Yeah, if you're just getting off work, you're probably West Coast as well.
Yeah, I live near Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, so I guess we're both west, yeah.
Yeah, about 8 hours out of Seattle. I know, because I used to make the trip before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping if transmission rate's down, I can drive out there in December to go see Avatar 2 at the IMAX, the laser IMAX.
Oh man, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
When Avatar 1 came out, I watched it, I think 7 times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was so good. I watched this.
You watch it in Oculus?
In Oculus?
Yeah, so like Oculus is a 3D screen, man. So like I rip all my 3D Blu-rays and stream them using Skybox to my Oculus and sit in an IMAX theater and watch everything in 3D. Yeah, it is brilliant, bro. Like it never goes out of sync. You know, I just sit there. Trust me, doesn't matter what put in Spider-Verse. I just sit there going, yeah. drooling. You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like so good, man. Yeah, Avatar looks brilliant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So cool.
You can't use compressed 3D images with 3D, so you gotta stream it because you need those uncompressed rips.
Oh, okay.
The minute you compress it, it looks like dog shit. So, we're talking like 50 gig files, 60 gig movies, maybe 80 gig sometimes. You know.
Wow. Why are you just getting off work in Pittsburgh? Isn't that like 3 hours more? So it's 10. Okay, so you're like second shift then? Or no, it wouldn't be 10. It's 5, so it'd be 8.
He heard you were talking about pirates and you showed up. They got a pirate ship in their stadium. It is pretty cool. Like, I'm not a football guy, but you know, pirate ship? All right, that's cool. I can't complain about that. They should do more of that. Someone should build like a castle and a moat. You know what I mean?
Someone should.
Like the Seattle Steampunks, and it's just a whole steampunk stadium and shit, dude. Like, you'd become a fan of football if it was more genre based.
Sure, yeah. Give me some more themes to work with. Yeah, man. You should be working until 8 p.m., man. I mean, I guess if they're paying you time and a half and you really need it, you know, I get it. But like, if they're paying you salary, quit immediately. Quit right at 5.
So now we can actually get started, I guess. Sample layers off.
Yeah, so what's coming up next, basically, I'll be modeling this vehicle, which putting in all the colors in, and then I'll be publishing that voice acting video, hopefully on Saturday or Sunday. So the whole like resubmit session, and I'm like chopping it down to get all the highlights and stuff like that. So yeah, a couple new streams, a couple new videos coming up, but I really want to get talk in game as soon as possible. So yeah.
Forgot to do the back wheel.
Your salary. Oh, I feel that. Don't let your boss see this. No, so I contract artists. I contract the voice actors. So I contracted Risa May, who is a voice actress on Twitter. So I saw her on Twitter, and she worked on a couple different animes, and Genshin Impact. So I might voice over like one character eventually, but I doubt that I will, like, I'm not gonna be very prevalent in that. Like, I want to hire real talent for these characters.
You're like, I'm TikTok. Yeah, look at me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you got Norm Macdonald to do that before he died. All right.
Was that the
My voice?
Was that the voice of Digit?
Who's Digit?
From the old, what was it, Math Zone or something like that? I forgot what it was.
Bro, that's your ear and mine.
Yeah, it's right,
Math
right.
Zone.
Yeah, it was,
Never heard of it.
yeah. Maybe. Who would that be then? But yeah, I'm trying to hire like professional voice actors and voice actresses for my characters, and just like want to do them justice.
Rad.
I think the hard part's gonna be like, I mean, unless you go through like a localization team and everything, and then kind of just figure it out. Like, if I want to translate this to other like countries and stuff.
Publishers pay for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe.
Don't even worry about it.
Maybe
Just
it's
get yourself
fine.
a publisher. They do ports and translations, bro.
Okay. Good to know.
Focus on making the thing that gets them to buy it.
Right.
Don't worry about that part.
Yeah, once talk is in game, like once I have like 4 characters in game, I'm definitely gonna go for like sending out demos to publishers and that kind of stuff. I just really wanted a shooter character to like really have like one of each type of character out there mechanically. And I guess the pirate character is gonna be mechanically a lot different than other characters as well. Throwing and pulling himself with an anchor and being able to like take hard corners because he can like anchor the wall and like, yeah, kind of like pull himself around a corner. That'd be a lot. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. At first, I was going to have I was designing a I guess an ability for the pirate character to like drink grog, but I'm like, drinking and driving maybe not be the best thing for my.
My advice would be like focus on what's fun and don't worry too much about PSAs.
Yep.
You know, a publisher can always do that, but like if it's a fantasy world, it's a fantasy. And even if it isn't, I mean, it depends on like what your age group is, right?
Right.
If you want kids to be able to play it, sure. But if you're like, this is an MA 14 or whatever, then who cares? You know?
Okay. Yeah. Good point. So I figured it'd be funny if he was able to like drink his grog and like become tankier for a short time. So like if he's like in the fray and everything and he's getting attacked a lot, he can become more tanky for like the next like 5 seconds. But if he threw the grog at another character, then that would like reverse their controls. So it's kind of like, it's like a, he can choose to drink it or throw it kind of thing. That was the idea. We'll see. Still a lot of design choices that need to be made. Otherwise, he'd probably have a side cannons or a blunderbuss. So, but that, I don't want to be too similar to Bucky, where he has like the shotgun kind of thing. So
Yeah, but if he's a ghost, you could do cool things with ghosts, man.
That's true.
And like dropping curses on people and like it's all sorts of things you can do, buddy.
Yeah, I really wanted to have a character called Lancelot, so like like a jouster racer. But like this is another. I want to do some more just like sci-fi stuff before I get into another medieval character. But yeah.
Well, you just make it space dragons, so it's all mecha, like Mechalot or Lance-a-Mech. Yeah, you know, or he's like a mecha Lance, you know, Lancer Z or Trans, you know what I mean, like.
See that?
You just tech it up.
It's like a mecha with like a lance arm.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, this goes by pretty quick. It's just you gotta pick like a 3 or 4 thing, you know, kind of settle on the value, you know,
Yeah.
and then like just roll with it, and then flip the next one, flip the next one. It's easier when you can contrast against a character, so you're not like inventing new schemes, you know.
Right.
You're literally like just kind of balancing it again. You already got. All right. That's better. actually lock the transparency? Thank you. So all I did was just duplicate the lines, put it underneath it, tint it red, and fill in the stuff that's kind of spilt over, and then lock the transparency, and then we can come back in here and quickly do a little cleanup. Little color hold cleanup. And we'll get that figured out in a second. Just enough to where you're like, looks about right. Make the button. Let's try making the button.
Let's see if this works. I'm just getting inspired to start modeling the car.
No one's ever gonna be like, oh, you did work too? Nerd.
It's like you're having too much fun without me, so I'm gonna start making some stuff.
Yeah, this is fun. I just like letting the AI do the work, man. This is torture.
I get a feeling that you don't like that AI too much.
You laugh when they come for your job.
I'm sure they will.
You got a point. You got a point. They'll have the game AI generator. Just generates a whole game. You just tell the game you want and makes the game. What do they need you for? I would love that. I'd love to be able to just type it in and get 3,000 hours of content. No one would play it. They would just try to trick everyone else into playing it. It's just like Super Mario Maker. They don't play their own levels. They just try to get everyone else to play my levels. You play my levels yet? No.
I made like one level that was super trolly and I'd stop making goals.
Because it's easy to make a trolley Mario game. Like Miyamoto then made it. It's called Mario 2 in Japan. It's the ultimate troll game. Like, it's easy to make a tough Mario game. Hard to make a fun one. It's the first thing they learned. So Mario 3 is the true Mario 2. In that they had to like go back and figure out what made this shit fun and how do we move that forward, you know? I know why it's. I was like, why is it not scaling the fucking texture? Because I'm selecting the fucking mask. Thanks, Rob.
You know, I hadn't realized you had a YouTube until like yesterday. Like, as far
Oh
as
yeah, I forgot to tell you, man. You do me a favor when you credit me and you're like, "Hey, Rob worked on this." Just put Sketchcraft because nobody will remember my.
Okay.
Like, I didn't invent it like because like I thought I'm being cool. It's because people will never remember my name. They just don't. Like, my friend tried to tell me this. Well, it's because people don't remember Spanish names in America. Because I'm like, no, they don't remember my name in the Spanish countries. It's just I don't know. I'm cursed. So Sketchcraft just easier. It's like Creature Box, right? Like you kind of remember that. You don't remember Dave Guerin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that. So.
That's true.
So I'm not. You don't have to go back or fix nothing. Just you know what I mean? Like just so you know. I always have to like bring that one up with folks. It annoys my friends who grew up with me. Like, oh, change your name, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm adopted. So like my Duenas isn't. I don't know if you've noticed. Don't exactly look Latino. So, you know, like, it's not technically my last name anyway. So, I love it, but because my initials spell rad, but people don't remember my name. Sketchcraft is easier to remember. There we go. Alrighty. So, okay. Now what I need to do is take this, get my textures thing set up here. Duplicate and move that down. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't streamed to my YouTube channel in a while, but that's just because I've been working on things I can't stream. Like, they're like, what happened? You disappeared. I'm like, yeah, I'm working on things. Were you going to make a video? I don't have time for that. When I can stream again, I'll stream again. What I don't do, Dan, like, as I don't announce the social media when I take a break. I just take off. So I always tell, like, people who follow me, I'm like, one day I'll just leave the internet. I won't announce it. Like, I don't care. Like, when I'm gone, you'll just notice I wasn't around anymore. You know, chances are it'll probably take you a year to remember anyway. You know, like, 'cause people follow enough stuff. So. So I'm gonna take this and fill that in. Great. Texture worked out. Get back to work. Come here. right, that's one. Let's get the other side done here. Making good time.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's one. Actually got done pretty quick once I started actually coloring. Does it pass the squint test? I think so.
Hey, welcome. Bakuni, right? Feel free to lurk. We're kind of hanging out for another about 30 minutes or so. Getting some cool cart color variations over here. Sketchcraft. So from the Twitter and the Discord and a few other spots and everything on even YouTube, we did a big poll on like whose favorite, like, I don't know, what coloration was everyone's favorite, and these are the top 5 out of the 8 that were top. So now we're trying to like match them with their cards accordingly. And then I got super jealous that art was being done and I wasn't doing art too, so I started modeling over here.
That's how it works.
I was like, that was like too much fun. Maybe I should start myself. This is looking good, man.
Thanks. Annoying. Well, we're definitely gonna get through 2 of them. We'll be able to wrap up all 4 tomorrow pretty easily. Plus, I don't think these are going to require a ton of variations. I don't think.
Yeah.
We seem to be coming along per dude. Might be interesting just to see, like, for variations to like mix, like maybe take that one and put it in front of this guy. You know what I mean? Like I could do a variation where kind of like,
oh, I see
what I mean? Like just try a version where it, you know, so like I'll kind of sync them up and then we can like play off the opposites and see if they look better, you know? I think that would be the better use of time. I don't think we're getting a lot of bang for our buck out of just color swatching.
Yeah, and imagine the gun would probably have similar colors to the Swatch or to the group as well.
Similar or a total contrast. You know what I mean? Like you just pick one of the other groups and then flip it against it, and it should all tie together because, see, value-wise, like I'm trying to keep it somewhat consistent in the same values, even though they're different colors.
Yeah, for sure.
So like value-wise, even if it's a different color, it should still work. But what do I know? I'm not an AI. You know, I gotta check with the fucking Midjourney, see what Midjourney thinks. It's getting old, Rob. Oh yeah, welcome to Sketchcraft. Like it's getting old. As I've been hearing that since the 3rd grade. When I wrote my first Ghostbusters 2 script in 1987, I was tired of waiting.
Just made your own.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2. You know, it was like Return of Gozer, but I had it where Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China showed up in New York. So it was like this crossover between Big Trouble in Little China. Because I always felt like Big Trouble. Did you ever see Big Trouble in Little China? Even though
I do not, actually.
Okay, so it's a movie that came out in 1986 or 85, somewhere around there, featuring stars Kurt Russell.
Okay.
It takes place in San Francisco, and it just has the same. It's like a comedy kind of. It's a comedy, but it's pretty cool, and it just had the same kind of like feel as Ghostbusters, only on the East Coast, because it took place in San Francisco. So it dealt with like Chinese mythology and lore. Mortal Kombat stole Raiden from this movie.
Really?
Literally. Yeah. They got the hat and he shoots out lightning. It's all from.
Oh.
They don't even. Yeah, it's 100%.
Okay.
It's not even like. Yeah, they freely admit. You know.
Dang.
But yeah, it's a fun movie, man.
Big Trouble in Little
So
China.
I had Big Trouble in Little China. There's this opening riff that plays. The director, John Carpenter, does the music as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this opening thing that plays at the beginning. It's like do 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 dinner near minner. And anytime I go to the airport, that's what I just put in the earpiece and I leave it on a loop. While I'm going through the airport. Airport fucking sucks. I think that needs to be.
So you have like 16,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah, it hasn't gone up in 7 years, no matter what I do.
Really?
Yeah, they YouTube put me in YouTube jail a long time ago. When the first Admageddon, I was actually making money, decent side money, you know, like 3,000-4,000 a year.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it all goes away when Admageddon happened. They just stopped sharing my videos because, and they did this whole thing where you can like talk to. Basically, what they wanted me to do was focus on educational short form videos, and I'm like, no, man, it's like when you go to the pizza joint and you can see the guy cooking. That's what you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm just streaming my professional work as much as possible, and every now and then I do a tip. We'll do like a small tip, but this is not a place for me to teach you. I'm not doing any of that, and so they put me in YouTube jail. I will never go above 17,000 ever.
Do not collect $200.
Yeah, I told them they can go fuck themselves. I was not even like nice about it because I sat there and listened to her spiel. I'm like, but there's another way. And then finally I'm like, oh, so you want me to become? Nah, that's not how it works. You know, I don't do that because it's so short-sighted. I'm like, everyone's doing it. Then what?
Yeah.
What happens when a kid wants to learn some real stuff? No offense to these channels that teach, but like, as I'm sure you're aware, Dan, it's not a one-size-fits-all industry. And when I hear that one way to teach, I feel like I'm back at the art institute. You know, like, and I'm like, I'm not ripping kids up. This is how I work. If you want to learn how I do things, philosophies, you come here. I'm not here to like teach you like what is so-called industry or break things down into smaller chunks, because smaller chunks is like entry level. This is not entry level. When you get past that, come here. You know,
Right.
get past the entry level, you come hang out with Rob, or just come hang out. We'll have a good time. But I can't stand it when they just, a bunch of people who've never done something are going to tell me how to do it. I'm like, you won't be here 5 years from now when I'm still doing it. Guaranteed. So whatever. I always just saw YouTube anyway as a place to prove to employers that I do my work.
Right. Look, I do work.
Well, I literally do. I don't trace or, you know what I mean, trace, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't jank or steal other people's shit. Like, here's how I made it, you know? Here's how long it actually took, you know? Because it's speed videos, man. Like, I get you want to watch something a little quicker, but I always think that cranking up the speed on anything should be left up to the viewer. The problem I have with inherent speed videos is it gives me anxiety, and people really feel like everything's being made that fast.
Oh, I see.
You know, I just really think it's disingenuous to the process. And making artists go faster all the time. Hey, it's about production, fast. I'm like, that doesn't, such bullshit. That's just what they tell entry level people. You know, like when you start to become your own artist, they're like, well, how long will it take you to do it? Then you need to stick to that schedule. No one's like, Nintendo, crank it out, get out another Zelda. Like, it doesn't happen, dude. Like, however, you know, if Nintendo says, hey, that Zelda's coming, you know, 3 years from now, and 3 years rolls around and it's still not out, then I get why people are frustrated, you know?
Sure.
Like, then you got to explain. So you missing deadlines doesn't mean you lose clients. It just means you have to explain to them why you missed it. You know, like, well, I'm trying to get this money made for you, you know? Like, if it's not a deal, they can tell you it's good enough, move on. Like, it's a whole thing. I just feel the way these companies run things, it's so like a scam, like the Art Institute. Like, these teach you how to be an artist, full sale thing, you know? And like, they just force everyone to become the same thing. And so then everyone goes, see, everyone's doing it, that means that's how it's done. Everyone's doing it, so that's how it's done, is literally the lesson your parents teach you not to do when you're a kid. So if everyone else jumped off a fucking bridge, you would do it too. Yeah, well, the algorithm said it would share my death video. You know what I mean? If I did that. So yeah, they're not going to be able to find me if I don't. Like, I've had this way of thinking since the 2nd or 3rd grade. So this is not like me being old man yells at work. This is just how I think. So I just don't like it, man. That's why I told it would help everyone to understand. It would help gallery artists to production artists and production artists to understand gallery. I think. Have a sense of identity, but be responsible with your time. That could be the Libra in me, if you believe in that sort of bullshit.
I'm a Virgo. I'm not sure if I fit with Virgos that well.
My buddy believes in astrology. I'm like, he's my age. I'm like, it's so 70s. But you got a mood ring on too? Like, I love watching. Did you watch the Get Back documentary?
I did not. Get Back.
Disney Plus. Yeah. Get Back was the last album the Beatles put out.
Okay.
And while they were getting ready to put it all together, they hadn't been together in a long. They actually shot all this footage, like recording the process. Eventually, a movie was made out of it, but it wasn't the footage. It was really changed. So Peter Jackson and Disney all got together and actually put the footage out. It's on Disney Plus. It's really good. It's super long. But what's amazing is it's like seeing 1969 as if it were shot yesterday.
Get that.
So like the quality is so good, dude. But I'm always looking at like, is he wearing a mood ring? What's he got going on over there? Pet rock.
That's
What do I wear? Popcorn. Yeah, it's great. That is a little too much. But every time I go, I think it should be this and that and a little bit of both. I'm like, yeah, that is a Libra thing to do, though. You may have a point. Like, if I'm all wrong, you have to assume you can be wrong about anything, except fascism. Fascism's always wrong. Fascism and Mad Catz controllers. There's nothing good about them. Remember Mad Catz? It's horrible.
Mad Catz.
If you don't, oh man, dude, I envy you if you never had to sit through using a Mad Catz third-party controller.
Okay. Okay.
Their head studio, their headquarters were located across the street from my my college. When the college got a new building, and they moved it across the street from Mad Catz. So we did a student project there once, and it turns out like I'd been doing their like promo stuff at the Kinko's for a while too. But when I go in their office, fucking controllers suck. Like, guy was not even nice. They're horrible. And it was when some poor bastard, you'd go to a friend's house and they'd have a Mad Catz controller, and it would be like, why are you? It's like the motion smoothing of controllers. Like, why are you doing this? Why would you use this? You know, you have to like admonish them for buying it. Just buy a real controller. Their Nintendo 64 controllers were the fucking absolute dog shit worst.
Did they just like break on you, or they just didn't work?
They were just so cheap, and the analogs were just so flimsy, and they didn't feel right. They were like weirdly clunky in the wrong end. The buttons would everything was wrong, man. Everything was wrong. You ever been to a buffet and you're like, this isn't pizza? I mean, it's pizza in name only, but this, I'm getting sick just looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't good. A level of quality that low doesn't really exist much anymore because people will downvote. I mean, they went out of business, but there was a time when like accepting that was norm. Well, instead of a $40 Nintendo controller, you can get this for like $10. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason, man. Like, there's a reason it's $10. Don't do it. For the love of God, don't do it.
I've had little controllers that break the same session I played it like the first time. You know, it's like, but they're usually like, I wonder if they are matte. I don't know. I don't know what they are. I've already thrown them all away. finally got that like Xbox Pro controller. That's been pretty cool for like game testing and stuff. It's pretty good. It's kind of expensive though. It's like 120. But
Yeah, that elite one, right?
yeah, the elite, yeah. But it should last for a while.
Yeah, so. Well, I tried to get these. I got close. Didn't even get halfway. But I got close! We did a lot of work, though. You know?
Yeah.
I was moving the whole time. I wasn't just pontificating. Pontificating and drawing.
Like the lime green wires.
Yeah, we'll add effects and stuff.
That's cool. So fun.
That's what I love about like lines is you can do color holds, man. I just love, because I guess I grew up with like cell shaded animation, you know, like I love color holds more than I love digital paints. Yeah. That's what So tomorrow we'll wrap all this up, and then that should probably take me about an hour. Yeah, it should probably take me about an hour, and then I'll be able to do swap. When I'm done, I can just take each character. Like I need to move him over here. When I get done, I'll do that. I'll move him over here, and then underneath, I'll do 1, 2, 1, 2 under, and then flip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like mix and match each one underneath them.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can post that one up.
That'd be cool. Awesome. All right, yeah. So I'll wait till the end of tomorrow's session then to post these bad boys up.
It's looking fun, right?
Yeah, super fun.
Super fun. It's
Yeah.
a little Back to the Future-y. That's what I see. You know, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Do you think we'll have any time for the props? I know we're running out of time. I know not today, but
Oh no, we're finishing all that stuff up before I do the next cover, so we're complete on it.
okay, cool.
So I'll get the props. I'll get the props Monday. Yeah, it's out to Monday. I can't trust the weekend. I can't. I gotta just assume the weekend is like working on my main job at time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So Monday we'll do the props, and then we're owed a wrench, or we got the bomb and the wrench.
Yeah, bomb wrench and gun for color, and then I think just the wrench for line. Yeah.
All right, then that might take me all next week. Yeah, so yeah, I'll just have to do. Yeah, we'll just do that and get this done. So that's my bad. But
All good.
I never like to think about what I'm not doing. I like to think about what I did do. So and what's next. Because if you focus on what you didn't do, you'll never get anything done. You just feel shame, you know, all day long, you know. Anyways. All right, everybody.
All right.
I'm going to go
yeah.
make dinner.
Thanks, everybody.